Hey everyone, I want to make this quick video for a few of the Alliance members on how to run rallies. So, if you can see, my castle is right here. Um, I know the first thing that you need to do is you need to know your strongest troop type. So, in order to determine that, you can either reference one of the previous videos on how to optimize an account. By doing so, what this will do is it'll bring to light what your strengths and weaknesses of your specific account is. Mine particularly is strong in an infantry front and a cavalry damage. So um, I'm equally strong in spear as well, and I have the badge master unlocked to be able to swap my badges pretty easily. So I can run cav camps as well pretty effectively by doing this, and this is the research that you need to to finish to get badge master. You go to refinement, and then you go all the way. You get all of this tree all the way to the end, and you have badge master here. It unlocks the fourth badge slot, and then right after you have badge planning. Badge planning is your save badge configurations. So right now I have three, and I could work on a fourth if I wanted, but at this time I don't really see it necessary. I think other things I need to work on prior to doing this, so I stopped with three for now, and I'm going to come back to it later when I see that I might need it. But for right now, it serves its purpose. I've got badges for infantry, I've got badges for cav, and I've got badges for infantry, and I've got all of those that I can quickly swap. And if you unlock it and you're like, well, how the hell do I change them? The easiest way to do it is go to your your saved equipment slots, and you have a tab at the top that says badge. So I've got one for infantry cav, I got one for spear cav, and then I got a third one that I haven't set up yet. You can also choose your equipment here, and I've got the same thing: spear cav, infantry cav. Cav is certainly my strongest damaging troop type, so I always have those running in my formation. Um, so I'm currently set up for infantry cav. So what I want to do is look for a infantry cav um, camp, or one that I can effectively run with that badge configuration. So we'll go to the World tab and we'll search quickly for some camps. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got some level 4 camps that I went ahead and scouted just to see what I have. So let's check out what we have. So currently in the surrounding area, if you hover over the actual box, you'll see the timer. So this is a level 12 spoils chest with an 8-hour timer. 8 hours is okay. 12 hours I try to avoid, but 4 hours is the best. So I'm going to look for 4-hour chests. 12, 8, 4. So there's a 4. It's a level 16, so it's decently high. Let's see what kind of troops they have. So your troops are infantry, cavalry, and spear. So the problem with running a camp like this is you're not sure what their frontline formation is. It could be any one of these these three troops here, and the only way to determine that is to actually attack the camp. That you can figure out what the frontline formation is just by sending a fake rally. So you send your commanders, you send your dragon, you send, a couple troops, and you have somebody join with a different troop type, like say bows or something like that, send it in. You're going to fail, but at least you get the report so you can see what formation the camp is running so you can effectively counter it. In general, I try to avoid these camps anyway because they're just too difficult, but especially if you have better options. So let's see what our better options are. So there's a 12 spoils. So this one's not too bad. So you always know that bowmen are in the back. on any formation. So they're in the very, very back. So you either have infantry or you have cavalry that we can take care of. So effectively, what I would do is send cavalry only to this camp because if infantry is in front, you effectively counter it with just cavalry troops. If cavalry is in front, your cavalry goes up against the the allies cavalry, and 9 times out of 10, unless you're like super super weak, your cavalry with your commanders and everybody else's troops are going to outnumber the enemy cavalry. So essentially, it's a you're not countering, but when these cavalry troops are dead, it goes straight to the infantry, and you'll just slice through the infantry because you're countering the infantry, and it's 200% more damage on infantry. Anytime you counter, it's 200% more. So you always want to counter. So this one's a viable option. Let's see what else we have. So there's a 13, 12 hour. I don't particularly like the 12 hours. So our best option out of this bunch, I think, is this level 12 4-hour chest. Um, so my logic works the same even if, like, say, there is cavalry and spear in the camp. Cavalry, spear, and bowmen. So bowmen are always in the back. Cavalry could potentially be in the front. Spear could potentially be in the front. So what you want to do is you want to counter whatever troop type you can in that without yourself being countered. So if spear and cav were in there, I would send spear because your spear could potentially go up against their spear, or your spear, even better, best case scenario, would go up against the frontline cavalry. So that way you're not being countered. So your goal is always not to be countered. So you want to go into the choosing your camp with that mindset. For this one, we're choosing cav because we know nothing in this camp can counter our cav. So we'll go and share it with the alliance because you always want to share it so people know what you're doing. And then click here and it'll take you straight to it. And now we'll set it up. So what you want to do is change your lord because we're sending cavalry. We don't want Chris because Chris is an infantry commander. So I'm going to send my lord as Enzo because he is my most powerful cavalry commander. I'm going to set up my equipment as such, and you see the badges are there. If my badges weren't configured properly, like say they were here, you go back and look at the equipment, it looks kind of funky. You know, there's spear badges in there. That's not going to help me. That's better. So we've got our lord, we've got our equipment. I'm not so keen on changing talents around. I run camps all the time with production talents. It's not a problem. If you're struggling and you want to get more damage, then certainly change to fighting talents, and it will help your stats out a tremendous amount. Anytime you're going PvP, you always want to go battle talents, though, and no production talents. So there's one other thing that we can do. We change our castle skin to a cavalry-based castle skin, and this one here gives cavalry attack and cavalry health. Since we're only sending cavalry, attack is great, health is best. Cavalry defense, which it doesn't have, would not be as important as health. Health is always most important. So we're going to use that one. And we'll change our troop marching skin to a cavalry one. This is cavalry attack, gives marching speed. So that one's a good one to use. So now we're set up. So let's run this camp. So I shared it in the chat, so you can click here. We can go here. Click that. You want to rally and attack. I always do my camps for 60 minutes and then send them, you know, I don't let the full timer go. I just give an adequate amount of time for people to join, and then we're ready to go. So I don't need, you want to choose your commanders. At this point, you don't infantry commanders. Um, you can use Seg, and the reason why you can use Seg is because he has total defense and total attack, and I have Seg fully awakened, so he gives total defense and total attack of 24%. Um, I've got better choices because I want my, so I'm going to leave Seg out of here and choose Merrill because he's a good one. He's got cav attack. And let's see, who else can we choose? We could choose Kevin. He has total attack of 15%. But if I was going to do that, I would just choose Seg because he also has total attack, but his is higher at 24%. I could choose Russell. He's got a 30% cavalry attack increase. Or I could choose Mango, which is the same thing. He also grants cavalry defense too, so that's not a bad choice. Let's throw him in there and see what happens. So once you hit confirm, you see your stats here. Pretty decent cav attack stat because the higher your attack is, the more troops you're going to kill initially, and then the more troops of the camp that are dead, the less troops they have to attack you back, so the less damage you're going to take. That makes sense. So we hit confirm. Now we choose just cav troops. You can choose T4s, put in a little bit of T3s, or T1s or T2s. Either way you want to go. I just go full royals and go with that. You also want to choose your formation. With this particular camp, you don't really have to worry about it because we're only putting cavalry in it. But I always choose whatever troop formation that I'm running as first, just in case, because you never know, you might leave something unchecked where people are sending infantry, so that way you know that your cavalry is going to be in front. So once we're done with that, hit confirm, and it's running. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to lock the troops that you don't want in the rally. And the way you do that is you open the rally, either in the chat or in the alliance menu, and you hit this little cogwheel here. This little cogwheel will allow you to select and deselect the troops that you want in your rally. So in this particular case, we only want cavalry, so I'm only selecting cavalry. I put in some bows in there from time to time too, just as rally fillers, because they don't do a whole lot of damage, but they do some damage because bows are best when defending and not attacking. So the bows won't attack till like 13 seconds into the battle, but the bows in the defending camp will attack the entire time. So once we've checked what we want and unchecked what we want, we hit save. And now it shows no infantry, no spear, only T4 bows, and T4, T3, and T1 cavalry. And we'll wait on it to fill up. All right, we've got enough. Only 3 members, but for this type of camp, it won't really make that much of a difference. I'm powerful enough that it's gonna destroy it anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and launch. So you hit attack now. See, we're only 3 minutes in, a little under 3 minutes. But you hit attack now. If you want to activate an army bonus, you most certainly can. Total attack or total defense, whichever one you want. Depending on your power level, you may or may not choose to do this. It just depends on the participation that I have in the rally, whether or not I choose to do these. In this particular case, it's only a level 4 camp, so I'm not really too worried about it. So